will call the economic development meeting for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022 in order. Time is 5:31. Everybody please rise for a moment of silence while I pledge allegiance. Bring something? Well, I didn't. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, liberty and justice for all. So first time citizens comments. Do we have anything, Minnie? Okay. Discussion items. Item A, presentation of potential development at 100 North Forest Hill Drive.
That's going to be this big set of plans. It's not full plans, but this big set that you have. And actually, this is not proposed anymore. This is going on. Everything's been approved. So just wanted to fill you in on what it is. The Chevron station at Forest Hill and Enon, they're wanting to expand their store. And then they're also wanting to put in a 10,000 square foot strip center behind it and to the side of it. There'll be 3 retail centers or businesses, and then a restaurant with an outdoor patio and a liquor store. Had to go to P&Z for because the back part of their property was still zoned residential. P&Z dealt with it, passed it, council approved it. And then they had to ask for a variance as well because they needed to have a 20-foot setback instead of a 25-foot setback to accommodate fire truck entry in and out of the parking lot once it's built. So that was done as well. So anyway, they've already submitted their plans to a third-party reviewer. We've already gotten those back, and they should be running after it right now. So there's no EDC action needed. They didn't go after any incentives, nothing like that. This is something that they're totally doing on their own, and it's just going to be another welcome retail center to the city. And it's a $1.2 million project too. So,
Can you overlive what you told me about reducing the number of units?
yes, originally they were looking at a liquor store, a restaurant, and 4 retail units, but they decided to make the restaurant bigger, which I like that idea much more, to be honest with you. We thought the restaurant was going to be too small, and they actually are going to bring in a restaurant that they currently have in Azle, Texas, which I've looked at online. Some of our firefighters have eaten there, and they said it's really good. So it's mostly American food that's going to be served in there. But it's from what the firefighters tell us, it's a very good place to eat. So looking forward to it.
Questions? Comments?
Is the parking going to be enough for them, or do they have future plans for parking?
They said it's enough.
That's it? Yeah, okay.
Now, is it going to be like L shape or just straight?
It's L-shaped. Yeah, it's going to kind of go behind the Chevron station and then back up toward Enon there. So it's kind of like an L.
Any questions? Okay, so let's move down to item B, presentation of potential development on Mace Kingston.
Okay. There's been a lot of work on this one. Okay, y'all may recall in 2014 or 15, we went to the courthouse and we bought 14 lots in foreclosure over there. We paid $5,000 each for them. And our hope was that we could bring in some kind of commercial development or something. Later, we kind of talked about transitioning that idea, since Race Street has become so much different now with the Civic Center, Memorial Park, all the things going on Race Street. We thought it would be a better idea to create some type of an entertainment district in that area and bring in some restaurants and, you know, ice cream shops, things that people can come out to the parks and enjoy, you know, whatever this retail center could bring. So we've had a few developers talk to us, and quite frankly, I wasn't real fired up about any of their ideas on what they wanted to do until this particular group came in. Munay Development Partners LLC. It's a group of military veterans out of the Metroplex that have formed a partnership, and they do this kind of thing. And what they proposed was putting in retail shops, and they're 3-story buildings. So retail shops with 2-story condos over each one of them, and 2-car garages attached as well. We loved that idea, because if you go anywhere around the historic districts down in the Fort Worth, Dallas, they're doing that kind of stuff all over the place. And they can be very popular and beautiful if it's done right. So from that point forward, we were working on the aesthetics of it, how this was going to be. And if you look at the pictures I've supplied you there, the different color retail shops, that's kind of what we were shooting for, because we wanted something that looked like an entertainment type, old school, you know, structures. But and they like that as well. But the 2-story condos above that, they want to, if you see the other picture, that's what they're wanting to do, is do brick like that, and hopefully the same color brick that's like our Civic Center, is what they're hoping to do. So what we're talking about is 19 retail units with 19 condos. The total square footage is 51,300 feet. And it's an $8.2 million project. So it's, you know, they're going to do it right. And we're really, really happy with the plans they have and what they're going to do. Of course, they still have to submit their engineer plans, but we're excited about it. We're excited about what they could bring, and and certainly the impact it'll have for us here in the city. So they would take 11 of those 14 lots that we had. 3 of them you already committed to the city to let them build the food truck park, which we're going to get rolling on after October 1st. And then we'll have 1 lot left, but they want to take 11 lots. And then King Street, which kind of divides between the end of our lot and where the church kind of comes into play down there. They want to close half of that, and there's no residences on either side of the street until you get halfway down the street toward the back of our property line. Then there's some residences with driveways. So they want to close it to the end of the property line, which should have no impact on residences over there at all. We required that they build a privacy fence or sound barrier around the entire thing. They were favorable toward that. And I'll explain some of the other things that we required from them and what we proposed. But we're excited about it, and just wanted to bring that to you tonight, because what we're hoping to do is get all this approved tonight by both EDC and the council, and get all this signed off tomorrow. And move on. They expect to begin construction within 60 days after they close. So the only thing they would have to do is get it surveyed and get a title company to come in and close it. We already prepared all the documents. All the documents have been reviewed by the city attorney's office. So everything's been done, except y'all and the council. So y'all have any questions so far?
Who's paying for the survey?
They are.
On, the apartments are gonna look like this, and then the retail will look with different colors on the bottom.
Something similar to that, yes.
The parking, the residential parking, will that be in the front or the back? They'll have garages?
It'll be in the back. They'll have, if you look on that diagram showing the units, you'll see some entry points, some ingress, egress points, and that's where they'll be able to pull in and park at their specific condos or their centers. The neat thing about what we've done on Race Street is, now we've got all this parking on the street itself. And so they don't have to really worry about creating parking lots over there, which is kind of cool, because if you go to some of these other similar type structures, they're able to put things in front of it, whether it's beautification or playgrounds or whatever, so we're hoping that we can do that type of thing as well, so that when people enter this area, they'll have a lot of things to do to keep them busy and keep entertained. And so that's the thought process behind that. But we'll have plenty of parking along Race Street, plus Memorial Park's right across the street, and that's a huge parking lot. So we've already put in a crosswalk. It's already a crosswalk right there at Memorial Park that goes across. We've done that in 2 other locations on Race as well, to accommodate this type of thing. So.
Okay, now you said the residential parking would be parking garage?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Two-car garage.
in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just out of concern, the residents on the other street, are they aware of this going up behind them?
Not yet.
Okay, because it'll be like peeking over into their backyards stuff.
The condos.
Right.
Yeah, no, we haven't said anything. We're not required to, but.
No, I was just
Yeah.
asking for
Yeah.
courtesy.
Yeah, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that their privacy issues are taken care of. So, yeah, we'll address those things. And I'm sorry. Well, I was going to say, actually, those houses face King, and they have driveways that also come in off King. So it's not like their house is going to be facing the rear of this
Right.
project. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. Go ahead.
The EDC would be responsible for the closing costs.
Half of it. We're going to split. We're going to split that. It's usually a couple of $1,000. But that's only expense we're going. Other than the lots, which, by the way, the lots are valued now at $30,000 each. So it's a $330,000 incentive for this $8.2 million project to happen. Just let you know where we're at. That's how much the property's gone up in the last 7 years since we purchased.
Okay, the property is how much now?
Now they're worth $30,000 each lot.
So what other developments will they?
They've done some other developments in the Metroplex area, Dallas and Fort Worth. So they have engineers on their team. They have architects on their team. They have construction people on their team, and they have just a big team of people that they pull from.
So do they just build or do the development, and then do they turn around and sell it? Or do
No.
they maintain it?
They
Yeah.
do the property management, is that right?
Yeah, they're going to manage it. And actually, one of the partners owns 2 restaurants in Roanoke. He owns an ice cream and a yogurt shop, and he also owns a hamburger place that apparently is very good. So they plan on trying to fill some of those spaces themselves, and then they'll lease the condos out. And what they're hoping is that some of the people that want the retail shops may want the condo as well. And that's pretty popular these days.
What protects the city that they won't obtain the land and then turn around and sell it, or turn around and not, start development?
When we get to the agenda items, we have restrictions, and we also have fail safes in place to protect the city. So if they were to walk away during construction, then we get the properties back. And then they can also be fined for not continuing their project. So there's some fail safe measures in place to take care of this.
Any other questions?
Do you know if they might change the retail, so like the size of retail shops? Right now, 19 at 1,000 square foot each. That's pretty limiting for each.
They may.
Right.
And what they, kind of what the way they drew it out is, they said they will draw these out as single shops, but we may very well make these, double shops.
Yeah. What I've
Two of
seen
those spaces.
before
Yeah.
is that, they'll build it to, depending on who's interested, depending on the contracts they can get in place before. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Anything else?
I see Burl's mind work.
You're
Doesn't
thinking
work
of
very
ice
well.
cream and hamburgers.
They're receiving this, no payment.
Right.
So our payment has to be whatever protection.
Yes. I mean, in actuality, and we always, whenever we do these types of agreements, we make sure that we are protected in the event that somebody, I mean, it's happened to us once before, a few years ago, but luckily there was no money exchange or nothing like that. They didn't get a shovel in the ground before the project ended. But we always put things in the 380 agreements that protect us for that very reason. But keep in mind that our investment, as far as what EDC has spent for this thing to happen, is, we spent $30,000 to get those lots. Those lots are now valued at $330,000, but our investment was $30. And this is an $8.2 million project. So I don't have to tell you all the math. It's pretty good. So, and this is kind of what we've been wanting to do in that area. So we're pretty excited about it.
No question, I guess, about their ability.
I'm sorry?
No question about their ability to finance.
No. And they cannot sell it. If they decide to sell it, they cannot sell it for 5 years. If they sell it within a 5-year period, then they have to answer to our restrictions.
Anything else? Okay, we'll drop down to consideration possible action. Item A, approve conveyance of 11 EDC owned lots to Moye Development Partners LLC, specifically Block 3, Lot 3R, 404 King, Block 2, Lot 11R, 405 King Street, Block 3, Lot 2R, 406 King, Block 3, Lot 1R, 408 King, Block 2, Lot 12R, 403 King Street, Block 2, Lot 6R, 406 North Race, Block 2, Lot 7R, 408 North Race, Block 2, Lot 8R, 410 North Race, Block 2, Lot 9R, 412 North Race, Block 2, Lot 4R, 502 North Race, Block 2, Lot 10R, 414 North Race. I'll entertain a motion.
I motion we approve.
Motion, do I have a second? Motion made second, any further discussion?
Yes, I tried to follow the printout, I guess, on this, and some of the pages were not matching. For the conveyance, the conveyance, what pages were those?
On the agenda. The conveyance was on the agenda.
No, they're on the agenda, but, okay, so, but see, if you go to A, there are documents.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just, what I did is I have them print out each one of the TAD appraisals, just showing each.
Okay,
individual
yeah,
property.
that was, I didn't get
Yeah,
it.
that's all it was. It was 11 TAD
It was in
appraisals.
there, I printed them up.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Well, it was all in the deal that was sent out. I printed this off the email.
Well, mine was printed and I didn't.
All right, any other discussion? Would you poll the board?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Item B, approve and authorize EDC president to execute the restriction agreement between the city of Everman and Mounier Development Partners LLC to be included as Exhibit C to ordinance 791. Entertain a motion.
Asking for a motion. See if they approve your signature.
Well,
Yeah, great.
this asking the EDC, this item B. Yeah, oh, you don't have to. Just ask them.
I know what we want to accomplish. I think you said it.
Well, I read it the way it's. Approve and authorize the EDC president to execute the restriction agreement with the city of Everman and Mounier Development Partners LLC to be included as Exhibit C to ordinance 791.
Yeah, the restriction agreement itself will be the exhibit C.
No, the agreement is, the restriction agreement is this one.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of confusing because this also says agreement.
Well, there's a bunch of agreements.
Pretty much 6A is us approving the conveyance of the lots. And B is authorizing him to execute one of the agreements, and then following that will be approving an agreement, and then, yeah.
The
So
thing-
there's
the
multiple
thing-
agreements
yeah.
and approvals.
See, EDC will do certain things, and then city council, Johnny, you get to do this again. You get to do the rest of the documents, because not, both boards have different responsibilities, so.
I move we approve motion 6B.
Motion made second, any further discussion?
Yes, on the first page, I guess, the restriction agreement, purchase of the property, when was it sold?
It hasn't been sold yet.
Well-
This is what y'all are doing tonight. This is what we're doing tonight, is approving all this.
Okay, and so we're selling it for,
Well, we're giving it to them in exchange for this $8.2 million development. We're giving them these 11 lots.
right, because, but see, we're looking at the special warranty deed. It's saying the sum of $0, then on another printout, it's saying $10.
The $10 is just to make the agreement valid. That's often seen in title work, just to make it valid, there has to be an amount. And $10 is just the standard chosen by most title,
Right, but this one says $0.
because we're selling it for $0, but the $10 makes the title work valid, from my understanding.
Yep, you're right.
Any other discussion? Poll the board.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Item C, approved 380 agreement with Mounier Development Partners LLC. Entertain a motion.
I move we approve 6C.
Motion made second, any further discussion?
Yes. Okay, it's saying, okay, on page, on 6.03, it is the value of the property is $330,000. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and, they're giving no earnest money.
Correct.
Okay, what are it says, EDC will provide the incentives and benefits.
That is the incentive. Giving them the 11 lots. That's what EDC.
Right, okay, so now far as the other fees or anything else that's attached to that, I know you said we were paying part of the closing, only a couple of thousand, correct?
Correct. They're paying for the survey and everything else.
Okay, now, on 8.03, it says EEDC will pay the closing costs associated with the conveyance of the property. And then it is property by the EDC to Munio and 1/2 of the escrow fee.
Mhm.
Now, how much is the escrow fee?
We don't know yet until we get it done.
Do you have you don't have an estimate or anything like that either?
So it's usually about $2,000.
Okay, and it says, King Street is conveyed free of charge to Munez. What is the difference in that and the others?
Are you looking at the special warranty deeds now, or which one?
No, I'm still on the 380 agreement.
Okay. There's some lots are on King Street and the rest are on Race Street. And so there was some bit of confusion, and the council's going to deal with this tonight. Because when we bought the 14 properties, the EDC bought them. But the county registered them in the name of the city. So the city, I don't know, 2017, the city conveyed two lots to the EDC that they owned, so that we could have all those lots over there. And then we just found out that the other lots that we own were somehow registered in the name of the city. So the council's going to clean all that up later tonight, so that they're basically conveying our lots to us. So to make it all, to correct all the mistakes that were made by the county and whoever else was involved in that, our tax lawyers. So that will be taken care of this evening.
Now, in this portion, is that in the part where you were saying that, as far as if they decide not to do it or whatever, does it go back to the city or?
Yes, and if they sell it, in less than 5 years, then they will also have to pay the city a $60,000 fine. They must maintain ownership for at least 5 years. 60,000. Jim. Yes.
So on top of us giving them the lots, why are we still paying some closing costs and some escrow fee? Is that something necessary, or is something that we're offering as part of as an incentive?
That's just some.
And why are we doing that? Why is there that need for that escrow fee, since we don't know what that's looking
There's
like?
not. We can ask them to do that. It's just something the city manager might discuss. But you can do that if you want. Convey that message to them.
No, I just if there was a reason behind that, or if that was just an incentive for them to continue with the project.
And we did the same thing with some of the other things we've done. We've always kind of sort of proposing cost. It's not unusual to ask the developer to pay those. So it's just whatever y'all's wishes are. I'm sorry?
That's pretty common thing.
Yeah, you can do it if you want to.
Does this property come off the tax rolls? Transaction.
Does it come off the tax rolls? They're technically on the tax rolls. It's just we don't get any taxes since we own them. So once they own them, then we'll be able to get some tax money out of that.
Or make the concession between that tax.
No tax breaks, nothing like that. No babies. No, what we discussed is all they're getting. They're getting 11 lots.
Out of all the fees and everything that we'll have to pay on our end for as city or EDC, where is the money coming from?
We have line items for that. We have expenses.
Okay, so do you have any type of idea? I mean, I know you don't. You were saying like a couple of thousand for the clothing and then other fees, escrow and stuff like that. Do you have any type of idea?
We're estimating a couple $1,000. If that's what you want to do. If you want me to pay them, if they need to pay it, then I'll do that.
So when we say a couple thousand, is because there's really no fee, like when you're purchasing.
Well, they
something
have
that's
to
over
get all
300,000.
the property surveyed. They're paying for that. And then they get it to the title company. Get back to us to close. So we'll know then.
they have some items that are pretty up to flat fee, and then some items is percentage of the cost of the property. So that's why it's tough to say exactly how much, but it's usually
No,
around
no,
like
me.
1 or 2%. It depends.
It's a nominal fee anyway.
Yeah, it's not an expensive venture.
Are we, do we owe any, will we owe any attorney fees or anything like that for as the paperwork and stuff?
Yes, the city manager did put everything through the city attorney's office, and they reviewed them, made a few changes and sent them back to us. So I'm sure we'll have to pay for that.
And that'll come out of EDC?
Probably. It'll probably come out of both because, like I said, some of the things that we're discussing tonight are EDC related, and then council has to do some things tonight as well. So it'll probably come out of both. Now, I don't know that they've charged us yet or anything like that. That's such a great question. So I would,
I mean, I guess the problem, the question here is it probably a couple of thousand is probably no big deal. A couple of thousand, another couple of thousand. It's just what it might equal to, and it may equal more than just the nominal amount. You know what I mean? I mean, unfortunately, we won't be able to know what the total fee is going to be, but I think we need to just be cautious of what a couple of thousand might add up to another couple of thousand. You know, just because if we're gonna pay for the paperwork from the attorney, then we're gonna pay for the part of the escrow, then we're gonna pay for some of the closing costs. You know, that's what I'm saying. It just seems like a couple may add up to more than just a nominal, you know, amount. But that's just my suggestion.
I agree
my
with her
opinion.
too. I mean, they're already getting the property for free, a value of $330,000. If you said that the EDC paid $5,000 originally, that was $55,000 for this letter. And now the
Yeah.
EDC is having to pay additional fees for something that they're already getting.
it's whatever y'all want to do.
Well,
I'm
you've
I'm
already
okay either
worked
way.
But you've already worked this out with them though.
No,
correct?
no.
It's all preliminary if we suggest that we.
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't
change
think,
the
I
motion,
don't think that's gonna kill the deal. I think it's, you want me to convey that to them?
I'm just looking long-term, because you're looking at sales taxes and property taxes, especially when you're talking
8.2 million.
Right.
we're gonna make our money back real quick.
Yeah, the property taxes alone on something like that is close to 100,000 a year.
Right. And then if we were doing abatements or anything like that, then we would. have to
Well, then I
question
wouldn't
everything.
even be
Right.
suggesting this.
Right.
But,
But since
yeah.
we're
They
now,
didn't
that's-
ask for anything. They didn't ask for anything, so
They were excited about getting the properties, so
And they're supposed to start 60 days after.
60 days after closing.
I think what made me feel better about giving the land away is the restriction agreement. That's really like what's protecting the city. Right. It's quite a bit, right? It pretty much, it gives us the power to be able to be not only, pretty much we'll be involved in the process. It's not like we're just gonna sit here and then we're done.
Oh, no,
We
no,
can make sure that they'll follow through.
no, we're gonna be there every day, just like we are with Hannah Ranch right now, and other projects we do. We don't, you know, I know some people think that when we close these deals, we move on to the next one. That's really not the case. We're there every day, inspecting and making sure things are going the way we want. And trust me, Hannah Ranch and others, you know, we've gone out there and pointed out things that we want to change, and everybody's been accommodating, but I'm out there every day on all these projects. So is Gilbert, our public works director. And we're using a third-party review now for all of our for the plans and engineered plans and things like that. So our engineer's involved when he needs to be. So we stay on top of it because we want to make sure every one of these projects are done the way we want it. And we don't just walk away from it and say, oh, you know, call us when you're over. I think that's the way it's happened here before, and we're paying for that a little bit at times, and we want to make sure that never happens again. So,
Now, what line item is that going to be for EDC or is the money?
I don't have my budget in front of me, Johnny, but I have expense line items for things like that. So.
Well, I do like the restriction agreement. And the 60,000 that if they pull away, we collect from them and we keep the property, correct? Is that what that is?
If,
Yes,
if they sell,
If they sell, they would sell it for
however much
$10
amount.
million.
Yeah, we just wanted them to maintain ownership for 5 years. And if they sell it before that, they'd have to just pay us a fine as possible.
I mean, in this situation, it's tough to say because some developers do come in and into early markets, which I think that's what this might be. They see opportunity. And then they might go around and just, sell it to somebody else. Like oftentimes when you do your mortgage, you'll have a mortgage company and next thing you know, a month later, oh, it's another mortgage company. It might happen. Obviously the 60,000 will prevent some of it, but I think it's still in their full interest to build a really nice property, right? And then after that, I'm sure that I think I read somewhere here that let's say that they do sell it within a year, they're still pretty much restricted by the same agreement, right? The next owner, if it were to happen, it's not like they just can do whatever they want.
Right, but let's just suppose that there is no next one.
Oh, that they stay with it.
No, that they sell the property, but then it doesn't fulfill or it doesn't go the way it wants, and then it just sits there.
Right. If, let's say they don't build half the year, they're not doing anything, we get it back, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about once it's completed?
Yeah, let's just say once it's completed and 5 years from now, which is great, it's gonna be great, we're gonna, they have a commitment, 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years from then, they say, you know what, this wasn't working, we're not losing more money, we're out. This beautiful building just sits there and then we don't have no, because nobody buys it, nobody invests in it.
I mean,
Miriam, that happens on any piece of property. We, the owner of the shopping center can say that tomorrow. And actually they've done that before.
they still have to pay the property tax, is a good thing.
Yeah.
We, like she says, we might not get the sales tax, which is what we want, but we'll at least still get the property tax. But yeah, it is, I mean, it's not, nothing is 100%.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that somebody's. Retail, it's a funny animal sometimes, as we've experienced with other.
Would you mind sharing, would you mind sharing with us the other properties? Because you said they have other properties that they've done this before.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Right.
Googled them and I could not find anything.
Right.
So
I mean,
that's what the first red flag for me was, me Googling them. I went to Facebook, I was stalking them and I couldn't.
they usually, it's usually like an LLC and then they'll
And
have
that's
like
what I figured,
DBAs.
there's another company.
Yeah,
they're
there's
listed.
usually like,
I did not go through Tarrant County, a student's name, that's one of the.
okay.
As far as retail, just regular clothes stores or what? Did they have any type of idea?
No, we put in our agreement that it had to be retail.
Oh.
It just can't be, a thrift shop or church, they can't just put what they want to in there. It has to be a sales tax related entity. And so we did put some specific provisions in there as to what they wanted, because the one thing one of them said is, if they didn't think that they could fill all 19 retail centers, maybe they would just make it a condo. And I said, no, you're not. Because that's what we're not, we don't want.
Right.
We want,
19, that's a lot.
yeah, we want 19 retail centers or retail shops and then
Right.
19 condos. Well, that's fine, but no, we want 19 retailers. And so they were agreeable to that. And the thing about Everman is we have a real need for them. We don't have any spaces a good part of the time. I mean, these places are grabbed pretty quickly around here. So I don't think they're going to have any problems.
It'd be interesting regarding the rate of
Yeah.
how much they decide to rent.
Yeah. I'm actually
They ran
curious.
that
I'm
amount.
actually curious too about Hannah Ranch, what their housing costs are.
Yeah, I'm sure it's changed over the last few months.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
they committed to this before COVID, and things have changed dramatically.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, and then back on the apartments, it's gonna be 19 condos. correct?
Yes. 3-story buildings, 19 retail stores, and 2-story condos above each one.
Any other discussion about the 380 agreement? Poll council. Poll.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Next item, item D, approve EDC president to execute the real estate contract for 11 lots owned by the EDC to Moonlight Development Partners LLC. Entertain a motion.
They have to participate for a
So,
Second.
The motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
kind of left field question, but, what will the buyer's, record show the price to be? On your account? No,
Well,
be worried about.
you mean when they're finished with the project? Yeah, typically, once a development's completed, then the cost of that development is what the first year
I'm
of
thinking
taxes.
about the real estate.
Oh, the real estate itself?
They're getting it at no charge, but, that'll go on their books.
I would imagine right now, before they put anything on it, it'll be $30,000 per lot. Okay, but once they start developing it, that's gonna change.
It can become a type of thing. Because down the road, you sell center or something. Gotta look at- Appreciate. Well, just gets a little complicated. That's,
Thank goodness.
Do you know if they plan to come to a meeting for us to meet a representative or
Yes,
anything like
yeah,
that?
they're anxious to go.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
I
very-
assumed they were gonna be here.
Yeah, well, we had the council and everything else going on tonight, so
Okay.
they're gonna come in and sign documents tomorrow, but we plan to bring it to the next EDC council meeting. So that you guys, everybody, they're a neat bunch of people.
Any other discussion? Please, board.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Next time, item D, approve the warranty deeds for the Moonlight Development Partners LLC project and authorize the EDC president to sign.
Okay, now you have different warranty deeds in there because of the confusion over the properties. So basically, there's a warranty deed for the council to convey the 2 lots on King Street to the EDC, and then the EDC has one to convey it to developers. The same thing with the other 9 lots. Council's conveying it to the EDC, then the EDC is conveying it to the developers. That's why you have those in there. So.
Entertain a motion. Motion, do I have a second? Motion made, second, any further discussion? Full council.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
With that being said, it's 6:14, we are adjourned.